Yes, I'm doing this again. No, there's nothing you can do to stop me. Salutations, everyone. My name is Pietro. Welcome to today's video. And I'm going to do a really short introduction. I'm just running this list back. I played it last time and I got like a 3-2, but that really felt like it could have been a 4-1 or a 5-0. We didn't embarrass ourselves in any of the games. It was all pretty good. And I just feel like I want to get more matches in with the deck. So I'm not going to make any changes here today. I'm just going to try it again and then see what consistency problems and things of the like we end up finding with the list. And then I might decide that I want to spice something up even more than we are already doing. So if you haven't seen the other videos, this is Tremors Dredge or Dredge Tremors, whichever way you want to call it. It is just a traditional Dredge main deck playing Marza Boy's land configuration here. Mana base is the word I'm looking for, with Black Dragon Gates, and then Holdout Settlements for colored mana, and then the County Gardens and the Forests, Generous Ant, no Trolls, no Oliphants, no dual lands, or at least no typed dual lands. So that's it. And then in the sideboard, we have sort of a juke plan of playing Impact Tremors and Commune with the Gods to find the Tremors in an attempt to be a little more mid-rangey and not fold as hard to Graveyard Hate. So that's it for today. If you are new to the channel, please leave a comment, leave me a like, subscribe. I'm trying to get to 500 subs before the end of the year, and I will be very happy when that happens. So that's it. Let's go battle some people. All right, welcome to round number 1. We are on the draw against Patro. This is a hand that I am fine keeping. Not super excited because, again, we don't have any colored mana. Every time I say colored mana with this deck, I mean black or red mana, not green, because green is just the base color that we are going to be using most of the time. Opponent just goes island into a pass, so let's see what sort of flavor of blue deck we are playing against. And it is Fae. It's a good thing that they started off with Gale Blade and not a fairy, because that means that I get to Wayfinder on 2. Oh, okay. No second land, no turn 2 play to try to find a land. Am I just gonna get hit by something like Force Spike? I mean, if that's what happened, I think I'm perfectly fine with that. I have another Wayfinder? What? Okay. Well, unfortunately, we didn't hit another colored land, but I am just gonna take another County Garden. County Garden can be pretty important in this sort of matchup because our opponent has the ninjas and whatnot. Okay, so they did find a second land. What were they holding up? Like a Spell Pierce? Maybe they were holding up a Spell Pierce because they thought we were Black Gardens? Could be. Okay, so they do have a ninja. But ninja on turn 3 is much less scary than ninja on turn 2. I'm gonna play a Wayfinder here. There's a Black Dragon Gate and an Acorn Harvest in the graveyard. There is a Dread Return, and there is a Generous Ant. Am I maybe interested in doing that right now? So as things currently stand, you know what? Yeah, actually, I think I am. I'm gonna County Garden again, and then I will Dread Return my Generous Ant, just because our opponent had a bit of a weird, slow start. And I don't expect that this is going to go all the way or anything like that. They have plenty of answers to a Generous Ant, but since they already had a weird draw, I am fine doing this, and then, yeah, sure, having them waste a card on doing that sort of thing. Snap is not the greatest because they untap their lands, but I feel like if I can try to slow their game down a little bit, it's fine. I am actually just going to chump here. So I know they have a Gale Blade in hand. Another Black Dragon Gate is fine. I'm just going to try to Acorn Harvest and see what happens. Spell Pierce. Okay, that's unfortunate. So now if I don't want to get hit, I need to play a County Garden. But I am also looking at getting some Callers of Mana in play. Yeah, that is a little unfortunate. I was hoping they had something either like a counterspell or just stutters, and then I could lock them out of playing those. Because now if I take this hit, they get to start gaining speed again. I'll just play another County Garden and pass the turn. And this plant token is going to chump block the Ninja of the Deep Powers, and I will Generous Scent at the end. Oh, I guess I have to discard, huh? What am I discarding here? Probably just the Lotla Giant. Yeah, that's fine. That's actually good. I don't mind having that in the graveyard. And I'm going to yield until the end step when I am going to cycle. And they do have another ninja, unfortunately for us. Okay, so our opponent just ninja'd their Gale Blade. We know they have a Gale Blade in hand, and from the way they have been playing, it really looks like they also have a Spell Stutter. So I am going to play the Circle of the Land Druid. That resolves. That's fine. Are you just pretending to have a stutter? There's a Dread Return. Play the Wayfinder now. That also just resolves. Okay. I'll take another Black Dragon Gate, and I'll just play that. So basically my game plan here is going to be jump block your ninja and then try to kill one of the other ninjas. There's the Gale Blade back. Okay. And next turn, I'm going to play a Generous Scent, and then I'm going to play another Generous Scent, and then I'm going to play another Generous Scent, and eventually we're going to see what happens. I am fine chumping and blocking. If you have a Brine Barrow, it is what it is. I don't mind that as much. Mutagenic Growth? Sure. That's better than a Brine Barrow. I will take a Holdout Settlement. So that's another card out of my opponent's hand. Molten Gatekeeper. That is actually an interesting card because it blocks pretty well. Am I in the mood for that? I think I am. So, play the Gatekeeper. Doesn't get hit by Spell Stutter. That resolved. And I am just going to hold up Knot to the Bone now. Snap again. Sure. That's pretty good for them, but I'm just trying to break their stride a little bit. And if they are doing that on the Gatekeeper now, they won't do that later on my Ents. I am going to attempt to Knot to the Bone here before they get their triggers. Dispel, sure. All right. Yep, I'm taking the damage then. This is a lot of damage, actually. I didn't realize how low I was. Down to 3 life. That's a ton of damage. And there's a Fairy Seer. Yeah, so opponent had a lot of things. Double Snap, Spell Pierce, Dispel. Sure. So I need to find some good stuff here. Another Knot to the Bone would be great. They go top. That's not good for me. Sure, Rumble seems good. Let's start off with that. If your last card in hand is a Spell Stutter, that's rough. It is not. So what are the odds that I get to kill our opponent here? I get to bring back Gatekeeper, bring back Scrapwork Mutt, attack for 4. Yeah, so in that case, because I haven't played a land yet, so I'm going to have a total of 5 mana. 5 mana is actually 3 bodies plus the Eldrazi Spawn. Sure, I am taking the settlement then. Okay, let's see if that's actually going to work how I want it to. So unearth the Gatekeeper, tap here for a red, unearth the Scrapwork Mutt. What is this? Do you have another snap in hand? You just generated the mana? Okay, so Scrapwork Mutt comes back. I guess I will do the dredging. That's a lot of goodies. Play my land. I'm just gonna move to combat? Okay, so opponent is just dead. I don't need to attack here. I just get to go tap Scrapwork Mutt, bring back another Gatekeeper, and then Dread Return on my Lotlet Giant. Oh, that's actually not lethal. Good thing I have a Cycler in hand. I didn't really worry too much about doing the math because I figured it was going to be enough. And it is enough. Even with our opponent's very strong start, we got there. That feels nice. So right now, I don't think I'm worried about the Impact Tremors very much. It's not really for this matchup. I am very into the Fang Dragons, though. And then I could consider bringing in the Communes, just because they find the Fang Dragons more often. But this is a matchup where having bodies in play and being able to trade and whatnot is really good. I am going to shave probably like a couple Knot to the Bones. They are good in certain circumstances. God. Yeah, they are good in some situations, but they get hit by Dispel, and I would rather try to blank Dispel as much as I can. And if you just draw a bunch of them, they're not really good. So that's an easy cut. And what else then? I think I can probably shave one Lotlet Giant. I got another slot that I need to open. I actually don't mind Circle of the Land Druid here because our opponent is going to be attacking us a good amount. And I like being able to trade and choose the land that I'm getting back. Dread Return is good as well. I'll just run 61. I think that's fine. Not really anything that I want to cut here. So this is a hand that is a little slow because we only put like an actual creature that blocks on turn 3. But I think that's pretty good. Molten Gatekeeper is excellent overall. And we have all of our colors, so I'm fine with this. Sorry, I had to mute myself briefly because there was a very loud sound car driving by my house. So we played the Black Dragon Gate. Opponent started off with a Fairy Seer that went bottom, but they did manage to Ninja of the Deep Hours on turn 2, which is unfortunate for us. But I am going to Rumble now, and yes, I will take the Fang Dragon. It's way less good when my opponent knows about it, but the fact that they know about it doesn't really mean that they can play around it. So I will pretty aggressively use this Fang Dragon. If at any point my opponent has like 2 creatures on board that die to the Fang Dragon, I'll probably cast it. Eldrazi Spawn is going to get in the way. I'll trade it to deny my opponent a card all day. Ooh, that's interesting. The second Fang Dragon changes my plays a lot here. So, am I looking at Molten Gatekeeper or am I looking at Stinkweed Imp? I don't imagine either of them are going to get hit here by anything. I guess opponent could have brought in something like a no, in which case playing the Stinkweed Imp is better. It also means that I get to start dredging and replaying the Stinkweed Imp repeatedly, and that is pretty good. All right, so no Force Spike, that's decent. It's a Gale Blade, sure. I guess Stinkweed Imp also plays around mutagenic growth that our opponent has shown us they have. Yep, Snap is annoying. So this is shaping up to be a game where I am going to attempt to blow out my opponent with like a double Fang Dragon play. But in order for that to be possible, it's going to have to be a turn 5 play. And opponent finds the second land. Unfortunately, my Stink... a third Fang Dragon. So my situation now becomes, do I just want to try and force these Fang Dragons? Like play 1 now, try to play 2 next turn? I think I go Stinkweed Imp this turn still. It is the Stutter. No, it's just a counterspell, straight up. That's fine. So I am going to get hit for a good chunk here, and my opponent is going to draw another card. But then I get to attempt double Fang Dragon next turn. Yes. Fairy Seer goes top. And keep in mind, even if my Fang Dragon resolves, it doesn't mean that we are safe, because the Ninja of the Deep Hours is still going to be alive. Yeah, they're not going to ninjutsu anything into the post blockers thing. Sorry, I'm having a bit of a hard time talking today. Do I want this Stinkweed Imp back? I don't think so. I would rather just try to draw a land, which I didn't. So I guess I'll try to Forktail Sweep. Let's see if that's going to work. I imagine not. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I go down to 3 life. I don't like this, but I guess I'm paying. They probably have a second Spell Pierce. Oh, okay. That's much less worrying. All right, sure. I'll pay 4 mana to kill your X once. Fairy Miscreant. Yeah, the Ninja of the Deep Hours is definitely still a problem. Fairy Seer. Yep, top or bottom. Okay, 1 mana up. I think I'm fine still taking a draw. I wouldn't have minded that going to the graveyard. I guess I'm going Fang Dragon number 2. If you didn't have it last turn, nice. And then I get to go Circle of the Land Druid now for the chump blocks. But most importantly, it gets to chump block and gets to give me back a land. Nice. And the land can be a County Garden, which chumps the Ninja of the Deep Hours yet again. Bind the monster. Annoying, but okay. Opponent finds their 4th mana. I am still fine taking draws here. I just wanted to hit a land drop. Deck, come on. I guess I'll play another creature, because Malevolent Rumble, if it resolves, I get to double spell, but if it doesn't, it's really not great for me. So I'm just gonna play a few blockers until this Ninja of the Deep Hours no longer can get through. Opponent finds another land, hard casts another Ninja. That's excellent for me. So it seems like they have run out of tempo. Oh, are you attacking then? Sure. Is it mutagenic growth? Sure. Yep. I'm taking this block every day. I'm just drawing all the cards I don't want. That is unfortunate. I guess I am casting the Rumble now. Spell Pierce? Yep. I'm paying. Nice. County Garden is exactly what I want. Pass the turn. Another Ninja? Sure. And unfortunately, I do need to block here because I don't want to give them any more draw. I am at 5 lands. It's getting harder and harder to stop my opponent from doing their thing. I think I'll take another draw. Nice. Mutt is a good one. So go Scrapwork Mutt. Discard my Lotlet Giant. I'll just take another regular draw. A land is very good. I'm just trying to work up more and more mana in play. Cast another Molten Gatekeeper. Opponent is just coming in hot. All right, I am blocking 2 of those. What you got? Doesn't got anything. It's just a trade and a suicide attack. Is it the 4th Ninja of the Deep Powers? Sure, that's funny. Now that I have 6 mana, I get to start dredging. And I imagine we take over the game here. So, cast the Stinkweed Imp. Molten Gatekeeper triggers. Pass the turn. Opponents started missing their land drops and now they're flooding very badly. But they're still coming in. Sure. That doesn't seem like a good attack to me. Cast Knot to the Bone. Counterspell. Sure. Alright. So opponent has no cards in hand. They are just dead now. It's just a matter of finding... Yeah, and they concede. So they were 100% dead there. I just needed to keep dredging. Eventually, I find a Dread Return, and they are at 16. I have 14 creatures plus the ones on board. That was a pretty... I felt like that was a pretty stereotypical game against Fae. And even though we were on the draw 2 games in a row, you saw how we can just slowly accrue some value. And again, super important to be blocking the Ninja of the Deep Hours early. If it's Moon Circuit Hacker, sometimes you get to take a hit or 2 if you think it's beneficial to you. But when it's Ninja of the Deep Hours, you just block that thing as much as possible. We are now 1-0. Let's go to round 2. All right, welcome to round number 2. We are on the play against 42 Azuna. You can see from my timer here that MTGO crashed on me and I had to restart it, which is a thing that often happens to me and I don't really know why. Not every time, but it usually crashes when like a game pops up and instead of just taking me to the screen, it just immediately crashes and I can't open it anymore, and it's very annoying. So if you know a workaround for that, hit me up. This hand is perfectly fine. I am gonna open up on County Garden, even though I would like to go Black Dragon Gate, but County Garden guarantees that I can cast my Town Greeter on 2, and it also means that I get to stay a little more ambiguous on turn number 1, and that sometimes influences what our opponent does. And it is a Dragon Shadow Mountain. That's pretty cool. Is that a two-headed dragon? That's nice. From Tarkir Dragonstorm. Pretty cool. It's just a mountain and a passing of the turn. All right. So let's Town Greeter. And I would actually like to find an untapped land here. As much as I would like to play Black Dragon Gate on 3. I don't find anything? Sure. Yeah, that's not great for me. Yes, I have the 3rd land drop, and yes, I'm gonna have my colors, but then the problem is that I don't have anything to do next turn. And depending... Okay, so they just immediately hit my Town Greeter with a Lava Dart. I think that's smart, considering I have Lotlet Giant and Dread Return in the graveyard. But we are playing against Madness Red, and my hand is not really ideal for that sort of matchup. Oh, mismatched Mountains Friend. There's a Casset. Nice. Never didn't have it. So Town Greeter back. Am I interested in possibly playing Dread Return on turn 4? Yes, I am. Am I looking to do that out of... I think I'll just take a basic forest here. But I will play the Black Dragon Gate here and pass the turn. And while normally I would like to reanimate a Generous Scent, since our opponent doesn't have any Sneaky Snackers in play currently, I think we are fine. There is an argument to be made for holding the Dread Return in hand, so I can try to punk my opponent and like kill them with a double Dread Return play. But that would require quite a few things happening. Like, I would need to dredge a lot. I would need to hit a second Lot-Led Giant in the graveyard or sand mine to the graveyard. There is double Lava Dart in my opponent's graveyard now. Triple Lava Dart, actually. Dang. Okay. So that's a lot of free damage that they have. And I am going to take a point of damage here. I think my plant token is worth more than that. Ooh, they don't have a third land drop, huh? That's interesting. And now that I've drawn Malevolent Rumble, I think I'm fine playing it. If I didn't hit anything, I would just make the most mana efficient play and just play the Dread Return. But as things currently stand, there's double Dread Return in my graveyard, triple Dread Return now. Let's see if my opponent wants to do something. Because if they give me priority, I get to Dread Return. And they didn't do anything. Probably because they only have 2 lands, so they can't really afford to do that right now. And I am just going to immediately Dread Return my Circle of the Land Druid. And this gives me a County Garden for next turn. So my opponent's going to take 7 points of damage here, which is not nothing. So the play that I am most afraid of is Mountain Gutter Snipe. Because that just represents so much damage. Yep. So those lava darts are worth 4 damage apiece. So if they have a Fire Blast in hand, I'm dead. Ah, no, that's not true. They need to sacrifice the mountains for that. Yeah. Never mind. Lava Dart and Fire Blast are not truly free spells. They do have a cost associated with them. And since my opponent missed a land drop, we get to maybe kill them here. So let's do this. There's another Lot-Led Giant, so I believe this is just lethal. I guess I get to tap the County Garden token. Actually, I probably want to attack first. So the problem is if I attack, they can Lava Dart my plant token and then I don't have the necessary collars anymore. In which case I would have to Molten Gatekeeper, tap the Gatekeeper, bring back Scrapwork Mutt, and then they have to sacrifice another land. This is surprisingly complicated. I'm just going to attack, and I'm going to see what my opponent decides to do. They likely have to chump block here with the Kessig. Yep. Are you going to Lava Dart my plant token now? You did not. So I am going to force them to do the thing. I'm just trying to figure out if there's any way that I can kill them around the Lava Dart, but I don't believe so. Yeah, I'll just make them make the play. But I don't think there is a guarantee way that I can kill my opponent this turn. Oh, that's not lethal. What am I talking about? Ooh, I think I punted this one, huh? Yeah, because I don't have the Lot-Led Giant back in the graveyard. I needed to bring back the Scrapwork Mutt to be able to do that. Yeah, that is not great, huh? So, opponent has 9 points of damage from the Lava Darts. They need to have 2 castable burn spells in hand that deal 3 damage to kill me, right? And Fire Blast actually doesn't count. Yep. Yeah, I think I messed up this turn. I think there was definitely a better way for me to do this around the Scrapwork Mutts. I don't know. I made my bet. I'm gonna lie in it. But I am just gonna pass the turn and see if my opponent's got me. Grab the Prize is a ton of damage. So a burn spell that deals 5 damage kills me. And feels like I'm dead. Yep. Okay. Fire blasted my face down to 1. Wow. Yeah, I don't feel like I should have won that one because I punted pretty hard. Marza, I know you're watching this because this is your baby or whatever. Let me know how I messed up that game. Let me know the line that I could have taken to kill my opponent there. Luckily, they were 1 damage short, And we were able to get there. So good on us. Acorn Harvest goes away. Molten Gatekeeper, while good, I think is going to be a little slow here. I'm just going to bring in the Grudges. And maybe that's going to be it. I could be bringing in the Commune with the Gods, but that just means cutting more creatures. And I don't really know if I want to be doing something like that. I guess I'll cut one Lotlet Giant, bring in one Commune with the Gods, just because I imagine I'm going to face some sort of graveyard hate. And then if I do get my graveyard exiled, I wouldn't mind having an extra copy of a card that allows me to dig deep. Okay, this is not super exciting, but I think I'm keeping it. My question is if I'm putting Black Dragon Gate on green, or if I'm cycling Generous Scent on turn 1. I believe Black Dragon Gate is just so efficient on red that I would rather cycle the Generous Scent. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with that. Opponent has capped 7 cards, is on the play now, and that's even better. I'll just do the settlement then. Because I was planning on going Rumble on 2, but I would rather do Town Greeter instead. If there is a chance that I don't need to expose an Eldrazi spawn to a Lava Dart, I will take it. Or honestly, to a, what's it called? The landfall thing, deal 3 damage to you and your creature, Searing Blaze. Alright, so that's a Highway Robbery on 2, bringing back a Sneaky Snacker. That is perfectly fine. Cycle this, get me my untapped Forest. Okay, that's gonna be good in a minute. Am I taking another tap land here? I think I'm taking an untapped land. And there are 3 creature cards in my graveyard now, which is very good for us. As usual, I don't want to see a Gutter Snipe. Gutter Snipe in this matchup is the absolute worst card. Faithless Looting is fine. There's a Fiery Temper that I imagine is coming at my face. And it does. So I'm going to be at 15. Do you have something else to do with your last mana? Apparently not. So I am going to start off on the Rumble. This is like a bunch of nothing. I'm honestly unsure if I even want to take something here. I guess I could take a Generous Scent just to hit another land drop, but I wouldn't mind having the I'm not going to take anything. I'm just going to let it all go to the graveyard. That's fine. And it is very possible I am just dead on their turn 4, but if they goldfish me on turn 4, it is what it is. I was not going to waste my whole turn casting a Knot to the Bone for 6 there, and at least this gives me the opportunity to plop down my tap land. And then next turn, things actually really start to improve for us. I get to go Commune with the Gods plus Knot to the Bone. That's just a Lava Dart going face. Scary. There's the 4th Mana Source. Opponent can deal me 2 here down to 12. And then they would need like all boats to kill me. That's just a flashback on the Faithless Looting. That's fine. They discarded Tormod's? Oh, so they have another one in hand, because there's no way you discard a Tormod script here. Or they have like double Fire Blast and they have me. They have another Tormod's. That is pretty unfortunate, but I feel like I can still play around it. As long as nothing too terrible happens, like a second one or they immediately crack it, nice. They didn't. So that is just fantastic for us. Attack for 1. I mean, it is fantastic in that we are not dead, but it doesn't mean that we're gonna win this game. So, red, 1, Grudge on the Tormods. Opponent's going to crack in response. I'm going to Knot to the Bone in response. We're gonna gain 12 life, but we do lose the Knot to the Bone. And I'm actually glad to have the Commune with the Gods here, because then next turn I get to immediately start filling my graveyard again, and our opponent discarded one of their Tormod scripts. And I don't really know how many they're gonna have, but I think it's going to be unlikely that they find a 3rd one in the top 3rd of their deck. Grab the prize, discarding Lava Dart, that's fine. I am a little bit constrained on mana colors here though, because I drew triple Holdout Settlement. And yeah, I have the Ancient Grudge in the graveyard, meaning that even if they have another Tormods, I can try to pop it. But I would rather not have to. So opponent has 3 cards in hand, and they do have 2 Lava Darts in the graveyard. That is also very good. So let's start off with the Rumble. I will take the Wayfinder. I will get in for my 1 point of damage. Every point of damage matters in this matchup, as you saw last game where they dropped us to 1 life. And let's tap the Eldrazi spawn for the Wayfinder. Play the one they know about. Then Gatekeeper and a pair of lands. There is a Dread return. I'm trying to decide if I want to transform my Eldrazi spawn into a land druid right away, and I do think I do. See what we hit. There is no generous ant, and I don't really feel like I want to grab a Gatekeeper back, so I guess that's fine. I do have double Stinkweed Imp in the graveyard, though. Opponent straight moves to attack. I am at 15, then I am at 13. It is possible I still die. Gutter Snipe would be devastating here. Gutter Snipe and a bunch of fire in hand. Ooh, Faithless Looting. Okay, what are we getting, buddy? It's a Fiery Temper. And another Lava Dart. Okay, so I'm down to 12. Triple Lava Dart in the graveyard again. The good news is that I only saw one Knot to the Bone, and I am going to dig very deep on my next turn. Probably gonna dig like at least 11 cards. Probably more, but then I don't have mana. And opponent just passes the turn. All right. Dredge the Stinkweed Imp. There's a Knot to the Bone. That is for 14. So I only have 7 creatures in the graveyard. I don't truly have lethal yet, I don't believe. Especially because I didn't hit a Scrapwork Mutt. So I am going to commune with the gods first. Try to get a little bit more fuel. And we did find another Knot to the Bone. I will take a Town Greeter. Unfortunately, I don't get to cast it this turn, but that should be fine. So I am going into attacks, since I'm not blocking anyway. Keep nickel and dime in our opponent. Play the settlement. Ooh, I guess I didn't do this. It's fine. No, I don't think there was any way for me to leave up the Ancient Grudge. And I am just going to Knot to the Bone immediately. If opponent didn't kill us on their turn, they're not going to kill us now. And I am much more comfortable at 30 life than I was at 12. Now, if opponent does find another Tormod script, then we are in trouble because we only have 17 cards in the deck, and that might not be enough to actually kill them. Grab the prize, discarding, grab the prize. All right. And it's just a flashback on Faithless Looting. Discarding, Snacker and Mountain. Did you find the Tormods? You did. Good for you. Yep, so we still have a game on our hands now. I no longer get to dredge. Dredging is actively bad because I might just deck before I get to kill my opponent, so no dredging. The Stinkweed Imps sort of block the Snacker. I might just have to aggressively try to clock my opponent, in which case I will start doing that now. Molten Gatekeeper number 1, resolved. Molten Gatekeeper number 2, and they're doing it this way because they're worried that I'm going to flashback the Knot to the Bone, but honestly, I feel like that's going to happen regardless. My opponent should have just popped the Tormods on their turn, I think, because now they've given me all of this to work with. Let's just go to attacks. I don't have anything else hasty that I can do. So this is 6 points of damage. Opponent is down to 7. And I'm actually trying to decide if I would rather gain 14 life or just play a Stinkweed Imp. Because if I play the Stinkweed Imp, that's 2 damage now and then another point of damage next turn. And that is 6 total damage, leaving my opponent at 1. If I gain life, I still have my creatures on board, but then my opponent is still at 7. Because I'm not gonna hold up Knot to the Bone. I will either pop the Tormods now, or I will just play the Stinkweed Imp. Oh, I can't play the Stinkweed Imp. Never mind. I could play Town Greeter, though. Yeah, I think I'm into that. Play the Town Greeter. If opponent wants to respond, they should respond now. Bad choice. They should have responded. Because if I hit an untapped land, it's just really bad for them. Play the Black Dragon Gate. Honestly, I just got to pass the turn now. I'm not superly worried about this. So opponent is at 5. I got 4 power on board. I think worst case scenario here is for them to go something like end the festivities. But then I guess I get to crack the Tormods in response. It's not that bad, honestly. Another grab the prize, discarding Faithless Looting and bringing back a Snacker. Yes. So we are at 1, 2, 3 Lava Darts in the graveyard. Flame Breather. Okay. Flame Breather, not as scary as Gutter Snipe. Opponent is going to crack the Tormods now. Just quick check. There's nothing that I really want to do here, so that's fine. The Cassock does block. That is a thing. Yeah, I don't know if you get to attack here. Yeah, that's very aggressive of you. Dread Return is whatever. Get in. I feel like it might be time for opponent to start cashing in those Lava Darts. And opponent agrees. So Lava Dart. They should kill the Circle of the Land Druid first. Yes. All of this is working. And then you're just going to block twice. Okay. So all of this works. Unfortunately, Lot-Led Giant is not lethal because they are at 5. I am, however, going to play a couple of Stinkweed Imps here. They don't die to the Lava Darts. And if any of them connect, I get to kill my opponent next turn with my Lot-Led Giant. If they find the 4th Tormod script, then I am in honest trouble. Let's actually do a quick check while my opponent does their thing. I don't have another Lot-Led Giant, so this is the last one. And I'm just going to do a quick math to see. I believe I am at 28 or 29 creatures. So by my account, I have 26 creatures. And 26, very notably, means that I have 2 or 3 creatures left in the deck, which is not a whole lot. And unless opponent has something really crazy, they are just dead here, because I'm going to attack with the imps, and if the imp connects, that's lethal. If the imp doesn't connect and dies, that is also lethal. Notably, Sneaky Snacker is a 2-1, so if my opponent blocks, my Stinkweed Imp will die. They lightning bolt the other one, yes. So I'm gonna cast this giant, and if one of my opponent's last cards is like Fairy Macabre, I'll riot, because that would have been crazy. Yeah, they didn't. So we won the match 2-0. A little dicey here or there, but I think we played very well. Overall, I do believe Tormod script is better than Relic of Progenitus against decks like mine, because Tormod script just means that you get to keep it without having to keep mana up, and it's just like a 0 mana activation. I do believe opponent made a couple mistakes where they should have just cracked the Tormod script way before they actually did, but in the end of the day, I think they played well. They got a little unlucky, and we just came through in the end. We are now 2-0. Let's go to round 3. All right, welcome back to round 3. We are on the play against Kanisch. Not a fan. I think this hand can have matchups where it's going to be decent, but overall, I would just rather have a land that has mill creatures, which this one does. It is a little slower, and I guess I'll get rid of the Land Druid since it's the least important card here, and I am just going to, as I often do, start off on a County Garden. Another red deck. Okay. Could still be either red deck, honestly. I'll just play the Black Dragon Gate. Good thing that we have a Knot to the Bone in hand. However, we are a little slow on the draw. I mean, on the play, but you know what I mean. We did open up a bunch of tap lands. Okay, so we are against Madness Burn yet again. Voldaren Epicure attacks, and there is another Epicure. Okie dokie. So I'm just going to... A little aggressive that they Lava Darted. They probably thought that we were some sort of Gardens deck instead of what we actually are. I will take untapped land here. But a good thing that they Lava Darted the plant token instead of my Wayfinder. Grab the prize, discarding another Lava Dart. And there's a Skittering Kitten. Yep, I'm blocking the Kitten. Sure. Start dredging. There's another Knot to the Bone there. I could just play the Stinkweed Imp. I feel like I am better off playing a pair of 1/1s. Take the Settlement. Opponent knows about this forest, right? I'll just play this. Play the Circle of the Land Druid. There is a Dread Return, but there is no Giant. But there is another Knot to the Bone, so I am fine passing the turn here. Gutter Snipe. Opponent just tapping and untapping their lands. I am blocking every day. I will never not block an attack like this, especially when I am at 13 life. So the Circle of the Land Druid can get me back probably the Black Dragon Gate. I feel like I'll have a window to cast that. to cast that to play that. Yes, Gutter Snipe is scary, but ultimately, I think we're gonna be fine. Opponent does have double Lava Dart in the graveyard, so I just want to gain a bunch of life right now. I'm just trying to think if there's any way that I can do some shenanigans, but with triple Knot to the Bone, I honestly think I am not going to need to. I am just going to cast the first one, gain 28 life, play the Black Dragon Gate. And since I have another Stinkweed Imp, I think my game plan is honestly just going to be dredge the Stinkweed Imp, cast Knot to the Bone, cast a Stinkweed Imp, and then eventually on turn 7, I'm going to hard cast a Lot-Led Giant and kill my opponent. Highway Robbery. What are we getting rid of? A Fiery Temper. That is a lot of damage. Down to 32. Dredge. I still have 14 cards in the graveyard, so play the Settlement. Play Stinky. Try to gain 28 again. And I really can't emphasize this enough. Don't try to play cute when you're playing against Madness. Don't try to get them when they go for lethal. You're not gonna be able to. If you can do the thing safely, do it on your turn. Are you going after the Stinkweed Imp? You're not. Still soldering on. That's fine. I have to be worried just about the 2 Lava Darts. Still, opponent's not going to attack, obviously. So I think I can stand by what I said. Is that true? I'll dredge once, and this is probably a moment for my opponent to interact. Probably try to kill my Scrapwork Mutt with the trigger on the stack. They did not. Dredge. We did hit a bunch of creatures here. There is a Dread Return. There is not a Giant. I have the Giant in hand. So, am I trying to go for lethal here? Probably. So, Gatekeeper, tap the plant, Scrapwork Mutt. Oh, I guess I overtapped. Hang on. Yeah, Scrapwork Mutt. Opponent just lets that resolve. Take a point of damage. Do I want to discard the Lot-Led Giant, or do I just want to be greedy and just dredge? I think I can discard the Giant. It's fine. So, go to attacks. Okay. Lightning Bolt the Stinkweed Imp. Sure. Okay. And opponent gave me priority for whatever reason, and they are exactly dead here. Okay. I don't know if opponent played that perfectly, but alright, I'm not gonna complain. So, grudges are gonna come in. Acorn Harvest gets cut. I'll shave the 2 Gatekeepers, same as I did last time, and then I think I'm cutting a Giant for 1 Commune with the Gods. I think that's what I did. That puts me at 28 creatures. I don't even know if that's actually a good idea. I think I'll try to leave in one of the Gatekeepers, and Rumble is just so good. I guess I can cut like 1 Dread Return to bring back the Giant. Try something like this. Because overall the Giants are more important than the Dread Returns in this matchup. And that leaves me at 30 creatures, which I really like. Yes, let's see if that is going to be enough. This hand is obviously a mulligan. This is fine. I would even go as far as to call it good. Let's bin the Circle of the Land Druid. Keep the Ancient Grudge in hand. Skittering Kitten. Play the Black Dragon Gate on red. Take a point of damage. They play an Epicure. Ooh, no second land. So we got a stacked hand over there. Play the Town Greeter. I didn't get a land either, but I did get 4 very good cards in the graveyard. I will 100% just block the Skittering Kitten. They discard a Snacker. Sure. Ooh, double Snacker. All right. Yeah, that is very strong. And the second land too? Okay, so everything is working out for opponent now. I am just going to dredge here, because I am going to need a little bit of help. So let's start off with a Rumble. Unfortunately, I do not hit an untapped land. I mean, yeah, I'll just take the Black Dragon Gate, but I won't be happy about it. And put it on red, pass the turn. So if opponent has Graveyard Hate, this is the turn to play it. Because if they have it, it probably breaks me enough. Okay, they didn't attack with the Epicure, so must not have it. I think you do that before you attack. Because if you find Graveyard Hate, it's just so good to attack and then also eat my Town Greeter. Another Grudge is definitely not what I am looking for. Am I gonna play greedy here? Am I gonna play a Wayfinder hoping that I find an untapped land? If I do not, it's really bad. But if I do, it's really good. If I get hit, I am probably dead, right? Because I go down to 8, and then any mixture of things finishes me. There is no lava dart currently. I'm gonna go for it. I need to find any untapped mana source in the top 4. And I haven't seen any of them. Off the top of my head, I think there's a very good chance that this works out how I want it to. Spoiler alert, not only it didn't work out, I didn't even hit a land drop. That's rough. Wow. Yeah, that's very unfortunate. No land drop and no dread return for me to bring like a generous ant back. Yikes. That's really bad for us, guys. Yeah, we might have just lost the game here. Because I'm gonna go down to 8, and then like boats and fire blasts and whatnot get me. So I'm gonna justify my choice real quick while my opponent likely burns us out here. I think that if I gain 12 life and I go up to 24, but I miss my land drop for sure, then I think my opponent just has the ability to keep attacking me for 4, and I need to then, on a later turn, try to do the same thing again. And I think that's just a losing proposition. My opponent discarded Fire Blast, so yeah, they're gonna bolt me and then Fire Blast me. Or that, Lava Dart twice and Fire Blast me. Sure. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Can I see how far away? Ah, it was the next card! No! Yeah, if I hit this, it's so good. We win the game there, probably. Because I play this, I gain 20 life, and then we are completely out of reach. Yeah, we were one card short. Unfortunate. As much as I would like to cut the Ancient Grudges, I know that I probably shouldn't, and I am just going to resubmit and then try to not get as unlucky again. Alright, let's be on the play. Hand is too clunky, doesn't mill, doesn't really do anything. This hand is also clunky, but it's got a plan. So I'm gonna keep my creatures, get rid of a forest. And let's go. There's a mountain and a passing of the turn. That is perfectly fine. I'll probably, yeah, I think I'll play the forest here. What do we have? Black Dragon Gate. Double Knot to the Bone. Great. No creatures in the graveyard. Bad. That's a Kessig. Sure. Rumbo is very tasty here. Yes, I'll take that. I already have a pair of lands to play, although having creatures in the graveyard is probably what I am looking for. And I am just going to immediately transform my spawn into another Wayfinder. And the Wayfinder gives me a County Garden, which gives me a creature to put into play later on. Okay, so I have 10 cards in the graveyard, but unfortunately only 3 of those are creatures. Because there's 3 Knot to the Bones now, I didn't even notice that. Yep, so if opponent finds Graveyard Hate now, that's really good, because then I'm stuck with a single Knot to the Bone for the rest of the game. Opponent attacked us for 1. There is an Epicure. And there is a Relic of Progenitus. Unfortunate. Yeah, that is not great for us. You can have a Malevolent Rumble. So unfortunately, I think that means that I am forced into doing the Relic thing now, which means that I don't get to play one of my tap lands. This is a situation where I could pass the turn, make them use that mana on their turn. It is only 6 life, but 6 life can be the difference here between breaching me into the mid game, or the late game rather. Yeah, I think I am gonna play cheeky here, but just because they have the mana open, and because I have things to feed into this relic. Gutter Snipe. So I am a little forced into doing my thing now. Grudge the relic. But this is bad. This is like really bad. They pop the graveyards. I get to do this for only 6 life. Yeah, this might be my downfall right here. Because now they have the Gutter Snipe in play. I have absolutely no graveyard. I'm taking chip damage from this Kessig. And I'm eventually just gonna die to the usual, like, small ping damage from these creatures. Okay, I'm gonna play the Land Druid. Need to hit, like, Stinkweed Imp plus Mutt, or at least some combination of those. I didn't hit anything. Yeah, I guess I'm just casting the Molten Gatekeeper right here. The good news is that I do have a Dread Return and I have blockers. The bad news is that I'm gonna die really fast when every burn spell is +3. Is this another Gutter Snipe? Dang. Okay. So every burn spell is currently +5, meaning I'm gonna die in 3 bolts. Yeah, our biggest problems there was that we got really unlucky with the mills because we hit 3 Knot to the Bones very early without anything in the graveyard, and then our opponent had the relic to punish us. That's an interesting attack. I imagine there's gonna be at least a bolt thrown before that. Okay. I would have loved for you to attack. Why didn't you go to the graveyard last turn, buddy? So something like Lava Dart is just an insane, like a single Lava Dart is 11 points of damage. So I can die in 2 Lava Darts. Yeah, I have some choices here. I can try to go for the line that would allow me to maybe kill my opponent next turn. And honestly, I think it's what I'm gonna try to do. So tap, tap, Dread Return on the Town Greeter, because I just need to get my cards rolling. Resolves, Molten Gatekeeper pings. The pings, again, are very relevant here, no doubt. Okay, there's another Knot to the Bone that I can't currently cast. The Dread Return is very tempting, but I also don't believe I get to do that. So I think I just sort of have to hope I make it around, like make it back to my turn, and then I can try to kill my opponent. I don't think I should have played this now. I probably should have played the Black Dragon Gate. And honestly, I'm just gonna Ancient Grudge that blood token right now, because this is a thing that can generate my opponent a mana discount next turn, and I would rather that didn't happen. Sure, you can have your Sneaky Snacker, that's fine. And that's it. I am dead to a whole lot of things here. Double Lava Dart, get the triple Gutter Snipe. Okay, yeah, like, if they have the second Lava Dart or whatever else, I'm just gonna let them deal all of their damage. But I very much imagine I am dead. Lava, Flame Blast, Fire Blast. Yeah, I hate playing against this deck, man. I truly do. This, yeah. Whatever. You got me. Gutter Snipe, absolute MVP against Dredge. We got unlucky and we got punished for it. We are now 2-1. Let's go to round 4. Welcome back to round number 4. We are on the play against Super Edolaus 99. Slow but functions, and I have some Dredge. Opponent is skipping, mulliganing to 6. For the love of God, I just don't want to play against Red Madness again. I got really salty from that last game. Really salty. So opponent goes Forest into Cycling the Troll. Is this some sort of mirror match? I will just play the County Garden here in the hopes that my opponent tries to Exhume on turn 2 or something. This could also just be like Gardens with a weird draw. Ah, it's Walls. Or Spy? No, probably Spy. Yeah. That makes more sense. So Psycho Degenerate, grab a Forest. Okay, that's good. I am going to Rumble. Probably just take... Now, that's an interesting question, isn't it? Do I want the Town Greeter, or do I just want to start Turbo Dredging? And yeah, I think I just want to start Turbo Dredging. Yes. And I am going to do this now, because since this is just a straight up race, I am very interested in hitting another Stinkweed Imp, which I don't. But there are 3 Molten Gatekeepers in my graveyard. So if that ever becomes relevant, great for us. There is also double Knot to the Bone. And the Spy deck does have like a limit to how much damage they get to deal. Wall of Roots. Okay. So is this like a Spy Elves Walls mix? That's an interesting choice. Since I'm trying to go Turbo, I am gonna play the Wayfinder here, because if I hit an untapped land, which I don't, I could have gone for the play. Unfortunately, I am just gonna go Black Dragon Gate. Can't really attack. Pass the turn. And then let's see if we're gonna die turn 4. Winding Way. There's a bunch of mana dorks. There's the Wall of Roots. There's the Battlement. There's the Priest. Gate Creeper Vine. Okay. There's the Ceruli. Okay. And opponent passes the turn. All right. They probably have all of their lands now, which means that I could just die, which is not something that I'm super excited about. So if they play Spy and I die, I die. They have way more creatures than they need to be able to Dread Return twice. So I don't really think I'm going to go for any not to the bone nonsense here. I am just going to go Scrapwork Mutt, Dredge 5. There's not another Imp, and there's not another Giant. That is very unfortunate for us. Circle of the Land Druid, Mill 4. Now there's an Imp. Yeah. So I'm going to be able to kill my opponent on turn 6. Let's see if they're going to be able to kill us one turn earlier. Another Ceruli, you have infinite mana. Oh, are you passing? Nice. So Stinkweed Imp gets to Dredge. I have all Dread returns, but no Lotlet Giant. So we're going to have to get a little creative here. I do have a bunch of dudes. So Dread Return goes after, probably just Satyr Wayfinder. Yeah, goes after Wayfinder. Sacrificing the Scrapwork Mutts and the Circle of the Land Druid because I want all of my creatures in the graveyard if possible. I will take a Holdout Settlement because that does make a difference this turn. So Wayfinder comes in. Still no Lotlet Giant. Tap here. Oh, I don't have to tap. Mutt, discard Giant, Dredge. Still no second Giant. Are 3 of my Giants on the bottom 12? Okay, my opponent conceded. I think we were going to get there eventually. Oh no, we just get there now because we have enough creatures. Yeah, it was a little weird, but we got there in the end. Now, what in the world am I going to do in this matchup, huh? Since they are some sort of elves, I guess I bring in the Fang Dragons. They are probably better than some of the alternatives. Acorn Harvest gets to go. I expect that I'm going to be playing against Fairy Macabre. Fang Dragons I don't think are necessarily great. Do I even care? Honestly, like, is this even better? Maybe I just take out the Acorn Harvest and bring in like one Commune with the Gods. So I try to go a little faster. Impact Tremors can be good in a stalemate, but I think a lot of the time it's not going to be good enough. I think I just swap like this and pass the turn. Yeah. Unless they show me that they are a true elves deck, because they just showed me Priest of Titania. As far as I know, the Priest of Titania could be there just as a extra mana dork that has good synergy with Quirion Ranger. Yes. Slow. Not even that slow, honestly. All right. Ceruli is in play. I'll go Forest and pass. There's the Quirion that I mentioned. Okay. Wall of Roots. That's a strong start. Cycle the Generous Sand. I'm just going to get my basic forests. Untap. Don't really want that in my hand since I already have one of those. I am going to play the Wayfinder here just because it blocks the Quirion Ranger. Okay, there's a Lotlet Giant in the graveyard. 2 mana, 3 mana. X-Bane Guardian. Okay, let's start with Malevolent Rumble. Honestly, I'm not going to take anything. I don't think I'm going to have the mana to do the cycling thing at any point here. So, yeah, I'll just play this. And again, just as a reminder that is obvious, opponent doesn't need to have the 4 lands in play to kill us. They just need to not have them in the deck. So, the fact that so they already have 3 lands. Let's just take a quick look. Ooh, there is a Fairy Macabre over there. There's also an Ilea's Disciple. Okay, you're gonna just cast the Sagoose. Okay, all right. Yeah, that's a lot of life. Sure, that's a lot of life, and honestly, that's a clock. This is turn 4, and opponent has a lot of things on the board. I think there was a reasoning for our opponent to just immediately exile both of our Stinkweed Imps, which they chose to not do. That might not be great for them in the long run. I actually think I am going to play this land, because if opponent, for any reason, wants to Fairy Macabre my Not to the Bones in response, I want to have them up. So there's another Lotlet. Now I have double Lotlet in the graveyard, meaning that this Fairy Macabre is much more enticing than before. And wait, they only have 1 card in hand? Did they? I think they showed the Sagu twice for some reason. So their last card is Fairy Macabre. Okay. Am I playing the Stinkweed Imp? Honestly, yeah. You get to Fairy Macabre me now if you'd like. But I have like a lot of juicy targets in the graveyard. The Lot-Led Giants obviously are the kill condition. The Knot to the Bones can be a huge problem for you. Maybe not right now, but eventually. They found a spy. Okay. Did you shave one of your lands? Oh, they cut a land from the deck. They only played off of 3, so yeah, we're just dead. They top decked the spy. Okay, I'm gonna take a look here real quick. So there's Nyxborn Hydra, there is Mesmeric Fiend, there is Avenging Hunter, multiple Avenging Hunters actually, multiple Nylea's Disciples, there's 4 Nylea's Disciple in the deck. But is there only 1 Fairy Macabre? No, 2 Fairy Macabres. Okay. So we just got unlucky there. Opponent found their combo piece off of the top. That sort of thing happens. Let's resubmit. I missed when we used to play. I think this might be too slow. Yeah, I think I need faster than this. Sure. Get rid of a Lot-Led Giant. I miss when we used to play Coffin Purge. Coffin Purge was the best. I loved having Coffin Purge in the deck. Opponent has mulligan to 6. Start off on the County Garden plan. Okay, let's see what you got. So they do have the Spy. Yeah, this hand is very solid. Guess I'll play the Circle of the Land Druid first. Okay, pass the turn. Yeah, unfortunately, I think this is a hand that might just kill me on turn 3. Okay, so they didn't Psycho? So this is 2 mana. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna die turn 3. It is possible, but I don't know if it's gonna happen to us right now. I'm not gonna take anything here. I'm just gonna play the Forest and play the Town Greeter. And if I'm dead on turn 3, I am dead on turn 3. I sure didn't hit really anything that I wanted there. No lands, but that's not the end of the world. We have a lot of power in the graveyard. Ceruli off the top. So that's 2. Gatecreeper Vine. Yeah, I think I'm just dead. They had a not really. Yeah, that kills me. That kills me on turn 3. Yeah, because now the other Quirion Ranger gets to untap the battlement. What? Did opponent mess up? Right? Because if they're playing 3 lands, they just have me there. Wild. So I have a single Dread Return, unfortunately. Do I just crack, gain a bunch of life past the turn? But I'm dead to their combo regardless, right? Because they're going to have enough creatures to do double Dread Return, and I don't have enough yet to do the whole thing. And unfortunately, I don't have the black mana to send my Stinkweed Imp to the graveyard this turn. So am I just going to Dread Return on some random creature and hope it's going to be good? Yeah, because I feel like hitting my opponent for 9 and then not having anything to do next turn is not going to be great. Yeah. I'm just gonna hit a Satyr Wayfinder here. You can give me the settlement. Okay. I have 3 gatekeepers in the graveyard, but I don't have the mana for basically any of them. Settlement can come down, but then I have to play like a Stinkweed Imp, but that at least gives me a permanent creature on board. Alternatively, I get to bring to Scrapwork Mutt back now. 1, 2, 3. I still have a Forest left in the deck. I think anyway I look at this situation, I think I'm just sort of dead. Sure, I'll bring back the Mutt now and try to dredge some more. But I think I'm just gonna die on turn 4. Okay, there's a Dread Return. Unfortunately, I can't really put another creature on board now. And that's just a passing of the turn. Do you just have double Balustrade Spy? Yeah, opponent had me last turn and they just chose not to do it for some reason. No, they did not have me because it was a swamp and not a forest. And they couldn't activate it again. Yeah. Unfortunately, we got. Spy just completely obliterated us. Turn 4, very consistently here. It is what it is. We are now 2-2. Let's go to the final round. This is very clearly a mulligan. This is also going to be a mulligan, so we're going to go to 5. Oh, sorry. Welcome back to round number 5. We are against Edgo on the draw. This is a reluctant keep. Am I getting rid? I think I'm getting rid of actually the Scrapwork Mutt. Because on low resources, maybe the Gatekeeper gives me the mile. Oh no, we are on the play. Maybe the Gatekeeper gives me the mileage that I'm looking for to compensate for my lack of cards. Plains into Lunarch Veteran. So it seems like we're against White Weenie. I would have loved to have it last turn, buddy. Malevolent Rumble into Town Greeter. So with this configuration against White Weenie, I think I'm going to try to go very aggressive game 1, and then post sideboard we will transform into the Tremors variant. When it goes double Inspector on 2, and yeah, I'm just gonna be dredging here. Nothing too interesting in the graveyard. Am I losing my spawn to be able to play a tap land? Yes, I am. Tap, 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 sack. Gatekeeper, play the tap land. And I really want the Gatekeeper to be in play early so I can try to mitigate the life gain from this veteran a little bit. There's an Informant. Informant gets rid of a Prismatic Strands. Very annoying against us, but we do have a good blocker now. Not to the Bone is not really what I'm looking for. So, Town Greeter, give me a tap land. I will take the County Garden. This is very good. County Garden, take another point of damage, pass the turn. And I am just going to play here like my opponent doesn't have Thraben Charm, because I think that game 1, if they have it, they have it. Cycles and Eagles. Is there another Idyllic Grange? There is. Pumping the Raffines? Pumping the Novice Inspector. Okay, that's fine. I'm taking 3. Dredge. Okay. So the multiple Gatekeepers means that I am likely going to have a turn where I'm going to try to deal a bunch of damage to my opponent. And then they might be forced into popping the Prismatic Strands, but the way they're holding up mana makes me think they have another one. Well, it is what it is. So tap, tap, tap. Play a Stinky. I guess I could have Scrapwork Mutted here first, and then played the Stinkweed Imp. I am unsure if that is better or not, but probably is. Okay, 5 mana is a lot for this deck already. Yep, if you got a trick, do your trick. Okay, I hate it here. There's Thraben Charm number 1. Have another one. And now the counter makes it so I cannot attack into my opponent. But my opponent's also not doing a whole lot here. They still have a Prismatic Strands, of course, which is annoying, but not the end of the world. Let me just do a quick check of what I lost. Couple Gatekeepers, a Lotlet, a Stinkweed Imp, 1 Dread Return. Yeah, I'm just gonna be trading, buddy. Do you have another Thraben Charm that you want to pop right now? That is wild. Okay. All right. 2 Thraben Charms down. Lands is not what I'm looking for. I would have said that we were well set up for this confrontation, but then my opponent had double Thraben Charm in the top 20 cards of their deck. And this is not going to be easy now. Yeah, they're just going to be clocking me in the air. I guess I should look at what they're discarding. Okay, they just discarded a land. That's fine. Malevolent Rumble, please. That works too. So Rumble. Town Greeter. Take her point of damage. A bunch of creatures and a Dread Return. None of those are super exciting. I can't really attack into the Skyfisher, and I am going to be clocked for 5 a turn here. Battle Screech is rough. Okay, that's a lot of birdies. Opponent's up to 26 now, and they still have the Prismatic Strands in the graveyard. Okay, that's a card in the right direction. Rumble. Rumble finds me Wayfinder. Take a point of damage. Let's see what Wayfinder finds me. Maybe a County Garden. County Garden and a Lotlet Giant. That's decent. Take the County Garden. Play it. Ping opponent for another point of damage. Okay, so I do have 6 creatures in the graveyard. Not everything is lost. Is this an attack for lethal? It is, right? Because it's an attack for 9, meaning that I do need to do something about it now. I am not going to Dread Return. I believe I'm just going to gain 12 life here. If opponent has Guardian's Pledge, we are dead, but it just means that opponent had everything then. Maybe I could have attacked. I don't know. Militia Bugler. Okay, so they're on the Bugler build. They find an Inspector, and there's another Raffines. All right, and Inspector. Okay, so their board is absolutely full. I don't really have good attacks here. Yeah, I was gonna mention, I think they can swing out. Do I want to kill the Veteran? Probably. I can then kill a Raffines, kill one of the Thraben, and take the rest. So I lose 2 creatures, opponent loses 3. This is surprisingly not such a bad draw. Unfortunately, the Prismatic Strands is really bad news overall. I do have the mana here to do everything. But there is another Molten Gatekeeper in my deck still. And this is only 9 damage. Notably, this is not lethal yet. Sure. 1, 2, 3, 4. Acorn Harvest. Take 2. Take 2. I do think I just cast the Knot to the Bone now. Just in case my opponent draws another Thraben Charm. Can't really attack because of the Bugler. There's another Lunarch. Bring back the Luminous Phantom. Yep. I'll take all of that. Another Knot to the Bone. Yeah, things are not going great over here. I think it's time I bring back Lot-Led Giant once. I'll get rid of my plants. Opponent's gonna take 9 points of damage here. Okay, the fact they Prismatic Strands here is not super encouraging, because it means that they might have another one in hand already. Another Militia Bugler. Finds another Skyfisher. Skyfisher comes in, picks up the Inspector. Sure, I'm taking however much this is. Down to 4. Skyfisher comes down. And another Thraben Inspector. Yeah, opponent's gaining life left and right. I'll gain 32 life here, even though it's not gonna do me too much good. I am just sort of trying to avoid the inevitable here. Attack. They can honestly just take it if they want. Oh, they're gonna try to kill it? Okay, that's fine. I just got to kill all of those. Sure. Opponent gets to gain 3 life. Up to 29. So I have 2 Giants in the deck. 1 Dread Return. If at any point I get hit with another Thraben Charm, I'm just straight up dead. So I don't think I get to Dread Return now. Or do I? Maybe I do. Yeah, I think I might actually. Let's deal 9 more points to our opponent and play a Stinkweed Imp. But I also just have to be careful with decking myself. Alright, so opponent seems to be trying to gain some life. This is going to be, what, 9 points of damage? Okay, Luminous Phantom comes back. It does seem like opponent has some trick up their sleeve. Do I want to attack with the Molten Gatekeeper as well? Do I just want to go all out? I don't think I'm milling myself, but I am going to play the Circle of the Land Druid. All of their attackers are flyers anyway, so I might as well just go aggressive. If they want to triple block... Oh, that's all? Okay. I was going to say that if they wanted to triple block my Molten Gatekeeper, I would be fine with that. Opponent still at 20. Play the Circle of the Land Druid. I would not like to mill. Pass the turn. Opponent's clock is good. Okay, so they're just attacking with the 1/1s. County Garden is just a body. Stinkweed Imp trades with a core Skyfisher. That might be good enough. Circle of the Land Druid gives me back a County Garden. Sure. Yeah, that's fine. Opponent goes up to 23. They're gaining more life than I'm able to deal them in damage. Yep. We're just gonna keep going here. Keep trudging on. Okay. They're gonna apply some more pressure now. That's going to be 7 points of damage, I feel like. Yeah, 8 points of damage. Okay. They have 3 cards in hand. They gotta have, like, more Prismatic Strands or Thraben Charms or whatever else. No, not dredging here. Thank you, deck. Swing out. Leave the plant back. Plant. Bird token's going to trade with the squirrel. Okay. Are you going to Prismatic Strands? No. Okay. Play the County Garden. Pass the turn. Yeah, so I have 3 hits in the top 13 cards. I believe I might still have a Rumble there somewhere. Yes. So Rumble also counts as a hit. What happened? Did they... the moment I think I'm starting to get somewhere... this is such a bad matchup. There's another Stinkweed Imp. Am I just dead? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm just dead. Okay. So I'm gonna die on the crackback even if I have the thing. So... Tremors and Fanged Dragons are going to be coming in. It's a lot of cards to cut, huh? I guess I can shave like a couple of Knot to the Bones. They are good, but opponent has a lot of Graveyard Hate. I think Acorn Harvest probably stays. I think 4 Fanged Dragons might be too much. I think I'll keep like 3. Honestly, I think I might get rid of like the Scrapwork Mutts and the Land Druids. Like 2 here. I think I would rather get rid of all the druids and have one extra mutt in the deck, and I'll keep it 61. Whatever, that's fine. It's a big deck. It's a long matchup a lot of the time. Yeah, this is double Tremors early. It's exactly the sort of thing that I want. And this is actually a good case study to see if Tremors is going to be decent in this matchup, because it does overload my opponent's Thraben Charms. Play the Tremors, pass the turn. Ooh, this is much better than what I was going to do. Now, there is the problem that they have a Lunarch Veteran in play, and that card is going to be a nightmare for me to deal with. But hopefully we're going to get... Oh, opponent didn't do anything, huh? That's interesting. Play a Wayfinder. See if hopefully I can find a land here. No land. Rough. All right. Pass the turn. Not hitting a land drop there hurts. Okay. Opponent just cracked the clue. Cycled the Eagles. All right. Another Lunarch Veteran. Not really what I'm looking to fight against. Okay. That's good. So, play Tremors effect number 3. Play the County Garden. Take 3. Opponent is just holding up mana all the time. Do they really not have anything, or are they just compulsively holding up Thraben Charm? Okay, opponent's gonna gain 8 life here. Bunch of birds are gonna come down. Can I please draw a Fang Dragon? Fang Dragon right now would be dope. Fang Dragon. That's not a Fang Dragon, but that's not bad either. I am going to play my Town Greeter before that, though, to see if I can be more mana efficient. I cannot, but I did find a land drop. Play that one. And there is a Gatekeeper in my graveyard. So things are not looking too bad. But of course, my opponent's life gain is still outpacing my Tremors effect. Yep, take 5. No. Yeah, I feel like we are dead. Opponent is up to 32. They have a million birds. Yep. I feel like I'm just gonna die, right? 5. That's 9 points of damage. Trying to set up a Molten Gatekeeper sort of thing is not gonna work out well against all of these birds. Okay, let's try to focus and see what outs we have, if we have any outs. I don't really get to play Dread Return and Molten Gatekeeper on the same turn here. I do get to reanimate like a Generous Ant that could theoretically give me some time. That might be what I am going for here. Dread Return on the Generous Ant. Because I feel like if I just go for the Wayfinder, it's not going to be good enough. Do I want to get another one? Like another Generous Ant? Probably. No, I actually don't need to sacrifice all of my dudes. I have some plants that can be let go. Okay. So I'm not in a much better situation than I was last turn, but at least I have a plan. Yeah, but the double Lunarch Veteran, double Battle Screech really hurts. What are you picking up? The Grange makes sense. Yep. Thraben Charm, one of the ends. Do you have another Thraben Charm in hand? Okay, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. Opponent had it all, completely destroyed us, ran us over. So let's go to my final thoughts on this version of the deck. All right, so what did I think? I felt like we played against different matchups this time, and we didn't get to really do the Tremors thing even once. Unfortunately, I did feel the impact of the sideboard a lot more today. The matchup against Spy, which with Coffin Purge is pretty good, ended up being really bad for us. I also felt like I didn't have a very good sideboard against White Winnie. But again, White Winnie is a bad matchup overall for this deck, and our opponent unfortunately had we had a pretty back and forth game 1, which I thought was cool, but then they just completely obliterated us in game number 2. I think that there might be something here, but this was the league that I felt like the deck just doesn't have the power level to compete with Pauper right now. Even playing against the decks that are not really at the top of the meta game, I felt like I was the underdog. So I don't really know how to feel about that. We beat Madness once, we beat Faye once, but then all the other matchups felt kind of eh. So I don't know. If you tried this list out, please let us know. I do think that there might be a good mix of things here, but honestly, it also just kind of felt like the deck was missing like a 2-mana Molten Gatekeeper effect, maybe, or something along those lines. I am going to continue playing the deck, but I think that for now that I have played it twice in a short-ish span of time, I'm ready to give Dredge a break at least for like a week or two, and then come back to it once the list has been refined a little bit more. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you are having a great day. I hope you are being kind to yourself. Remember to drink your water, go outside and get some sunshine if you can. Don't forget to wear sunscreen. Go do something nice for yourself so you can enjoy your day a little more. You deserve it, definitely. There's already too much craziness out there in the world.